You rookie got the replay open. Jeez Louise. Welcome to the Sunday Night hanging right here on Sunday. 10 seconds behind at his place. Who's that? That's Steve. Steve's here.
How you guys doing?
He's back. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me back, man.
Yeah. Let's get rid of that. A little pre-show Keith.
Ooh.
It ain't talking listening to Rolling Stones songs before the show. Let's see who got check. We already got 29 people in here. Scrolling back an hour ago, we got Paul McNary. I'm sure various feline-shaped objects. Then we got Mark Spurgeon. Isn't he in Alaska? He's got the robotic neck now or something, right? I know he said he was doing better, and I saw in Pete's chat earlier today. There's Charles 75N. He's host of Chilling with Charles in the winter and Chuckling with Charles. No, that's the comedic show. Chat with Charles. That's it. Zach Thong is here. Good to see brother Zach.
Hi, Zach.
Who else we got here? I'll talk to you. Billy Baloney. Good to see you.
Billy.
Hey, we missed Billy at the Water Buffalo meeting yesterday.
Yeah, he wasn't there.
Jack Collins is here. Mesa Guitar Guy wasn't there at the meeting either. You know, he's a member. He could have showed up, but he didn't. He's probably got a life or something. I don't know. Who else we got here?
In the summer.
Cushman NYC is here.
Brother Cush, how you doing, man?
L Bar J.
Hey, Lee.
Dan Gorman.
Dan.
What's up, Dan? I just keep scrolling. All right, we're about 10 minutes back at the moment. Greasy Monkey Guitars. Forgot to reply to his email today. I'm going to hit. Oh, yeah, or I could do the Audible that I've been known to do on occasion, Steve. Hey, Greasy. You free 2 weeks from tonight to come on? Saves a fellow an email. You see?
Yeah.
And I just replied with the link in 2 weeks. Are you available 2 weeks from tonight to appear on the Sunday night? Hey, that's the question. There's Blue Mox. Great to see you.
Blue Mox.
Always a pleasure. How's Windsor doing, Arf? Hot still? I don't know. It was hot when I was there. Oof. People saying hey to each other. Papa Blue has made it. Stephen Munch Michelli. We saw Munch yesterday.
Yeah, Munch. I need to watch his Talman video.
Hip Metal Works. Michael B. Listening and doing stuff. I like that. Listening and doing stuff. He's not just listening, but he's doing stuff while he's listening. Hey, I'm doing stuff. That's his wife yelling down the stairs. He's in the basement, right? Are you actually doing stuff down there? You're just listening to Ben, Steve. I'm doing stuff. I'm listening.
Stuff.
All right.
Probably doing things too. Stuff and things.
Right. That reminds me, there was a store in Rochester that used to advertise late night TV, literally called Dan's Craft and Things. Like crafts and things. I'm like, all right, I understand the crafts. What's the things? We actually got to go there once because there was another store next door to them too that was kind of cool that also advertised. It just happened they were in the same plaza, and we were on a trip around Lake Ontario, and we stopped at Dan's Crafts and Things. I'm like, yes. You know, it was all because it was also kind of a hobby shop, so they're like, we've got stained glass sets. I'm like, nah, wood burning, man, slot cars, yay!
Yeah, right. Slot cars, model cars,
right?
Rocket ship.
Brother Trev.
Hey, Trev.
Martian Murray. He's not Martian, not Murray. Didn't even show up for the meeting yesterday, but we still love him.
How you doing, Martin?
Martian. You always call him Martin. I think actually it might have been a Charles thing, Martin Murray. I'm just saying. Seems more plausible than Martian Murray, actually. I'm not going to lie. There's my lovely sister, Amanda. Mark Spurgeon in Anchorage. There we go. Eston Ray. Good to see you. All right. Yeah, we're at the point of... There's Keith H. Wow. Wow, I didn't know you spelled your name with an A, Steve.
Yeah. Steve.
Stave?
Yep.
Kind of an accent. Stave?
I do know.
Apparently. Michael Krause. Damn it, I'm late. I missed the mispronunciation.
So
Michael Krause. Michael Krause. That's it.
Cool.
It's not the same. Greasy Monkey Guitars. I just remembered that I asked him about appearing, so if I got to keep an eye out for the response. Zach. Scott Sanders. Great to see Scott.
Hey, Scott.
There's McCollum Music. Hey, is this my speaker?
Here's Matt.
What's up, speaker? I'm supposed to have a Canadian heat wave going on. Not here. Roads are rough as hell. Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, now I just realized I should be looking again for Greasy. Which I said something. Aston Ray. It says, ha ha ha, I remember that. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but I'm sure it was entertaining. Did some things, so okay.
Could have been to your trip around the lake.
Right. Yes, thank you. One of us is paying attention.
And things.
There's Bo. Great to see you, Guitar Man 45. Michael says, did things to do stuff. We'll do more stuff when things are done. Perfect. And then that was me throwing Charles under the bus. He goes, hey! Yeah, sorry.
Charles.
We got a thing for that, Charles. All right, scrolling that page says, there's Richard Nagamitsu. And I just realized my chat went to the bottom. But someone paid attention. Yeah, I know. Well, I had some pre-show Keith. I'm going to say.
Thanks, Amanda.
Which may or may not be a sugar substitute. All right. So I am free 2 weeks. All right. See that? Yeah. Okay. All right. So next week, we got Tabinin in 1, our good friend Chad from the East Coast of Canada. And then 2 weeks from tonight, we got Dave, Grease Monkey Guitars.
Cool.
Sweet.
That'll be
right. Here we go. So if you have a question for Steve or myself, you can use the and for sand. That's the at sign. Oh, yeah. Randy Crooks is here. What's up, Randy? Or you can put question marks out front. That might work. Or if you remember, you can do the member milestone because it stands out like a super chat, but it's not a super chat. Or you can super chat. That's fine. Or I don't know what else. You could text me, I guess, but don't, because that's just interrupting me on my phone. I don't know. So, yeah, there we go. We're here to discuss both things and stuff. We might get guitar related. We might not. I'm trying to see if Taft will show up tonight, and then we'll ask him. Do you remember what we're supposed to talk about tonight? Because he never did answer that. He never figured out the parts caster part.
No, he never. I did ask him. And we did discuss it like 10 minutes previously.
I see Dan Gorman's comment, first question of the night, and immediately I'll hear, back home again, Indiana.
I need milk. From Indiana, Dan.
We got Brian, searching for tone.
Hey, Brian.
That is stuff and things. Thanks, Charles. Stephen Douglas.
Hey, Stephen. Is there Randy Crooks there?
Yeah, Randy, who got his wife bought him a Epi Les Paul, I saw.
Nice.
Yep. There's worse things that can be bought for you in the world. Eddie Van Haskell's here.
Yeah. How you doing, Eddie?
RFS, are you an innie or an outie? I don't think I've ever had a guest in 7 years be asked that.
What? Well,
Arf, really? The voice of Cornhole has arrived. It's great hanging out with Donnie the other night. There's the voice of Cornhole. Cousin Doug was celebrating his 6th anniversary doing his Down and Back Cornhole podcast. I was asked on as part of it, probably because he asked me about 15,000 questions before he started doing it. Like, how do we do it? You do the how? Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. The other half of his questions were to the voice of Cornhole, which he found it was easier than answering Doug's pathetic questions all the time to actually just become his co-host. Just saying. Guitar Man 45 reports in, I saw friends of mine have not seen for 40 or for 35 years yesterday. Got low down of all the mad dogs not with us anymore and some sad stories I heard. Well, imagine if they're not with you anymore, that's not going to be a good story. Unless it's, he blowed up real good. That's a real good story. Yeah. Celebrity Blow Up, a classic show. Short-lived, not a lot of return guests on Celebrity Blow Up, I must say.
Right. About the third guest, it might start getting slim.
Hey, Roddy's Jam Cave.
How you doing, Roddy?
Greasy Monkey Guitars mentions a thing about a Boss Metal plate. You just flip it over, you take it off, unscrew it, flip it over, so then you can put Velcro on it and doesn't ruin the rubber bottom or the sticker decal.
Right. That'd be a good
I
idea.
assume that's what he's talking about, unless there's some other mod you do to the bottom of Boss pedals. Am I right? Am I wrong? Chat. Yeah, 50 people watching now. Wow, that's like a gig.
I don't have a Boss pedal, but if they have a sticker, like serial numbers or whatever on there, that'd be a good idea.
Yep. Flip
it over.
Yeah, I used to put layers of Velcro in the middle to build up around the rubber, and that didn't work out well because it was all up high. And, yeah. Plus, as you go to remove Velcro, the first thing it does is remove the decal off. When I used to gig with some Boss pedals. It's been a long time since I gigged with Boss pedals. Painter's tape on the bottom of the pedal before putting on the Velcro is always a great idea as well, Billy. Munch asks, which of your guitars is your favorite and why, Steve?
My favorite, probably the Wild custom one I have, the Fire Wild is my favorite one. And that's because I won it unexpectedly from I won it from Justin Johnson a couple years ago on Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And then the following year I went down and saw him play live. He doesn't play live a whole lot, but he was doing a show. So I went down, got to see him play, got to meet him and thank him. And then I ended up a year after that taking a puppy down, which I had discussed on Charles's show.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's probably my favorite one because there's it was unexpected. I just made comments with my imagination and kept it music and Halloween related.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I saw my name come out of that crystal ball, my fucking knees went weak a little bit. You know, I was shaky, man.
That's cool.
So yeah, that's probably my favorite one.
Nice. Stephen Douglas, and you can relate as a regular viewer yourself, Steve. Stephen Douglas says, was thinking today how interesting it'd be if Pete Thorne would smoke during his live show. No, he's already long-winded enough and gets off topic enough as is, Steve.
Right? Yeah,
but he would be an hour behind in the chat, basically.
Right? His off topics are interesting, though.
They are,
because he's got so much. There's always a cool story, or it always kind of relates back.
I laughed today with the Van Halen Dancing in the Streets question. He's like, I fucking hate that song.
Yeah.
I'm just like, damn. I was like, I kind of dug it, like, for what it was. It was different.
Well,
as I put in the chat, it's
his least favorite.
As I said in the chat, it's still better than the David Bowie Mick Jagger collab on that song.
God, when Family Guy made fun of that.
Hello, South America. Well, fuck off. Like it just oozed of corporate, like, Coca-Cola commercial, with the horn section, and it's like, oh,
yeah,
oh.
I do like when the Family Guy made fun of that.
Hey,
I think they played like the whole video or something, or pretty close to it.
Everyone should check out the Ubi's channel. He's live like 14 times a week and twice on Sunday. No, he's actually live 5 times a week, I want to say, maybe 6. Although he's taking a brief hiatus.
Yeah.
But definitely check out his channel. It's a lot of fun. Similar to my Monday show, he plays music and takes questions and stuff. It's cool. It's enjoyable. He's a great member of the community. Check it out. There's BC Rich 581. Great to see Rob. We were hanging out with him yesterday. And there's Terry.
Hey, Terry. Oh, there's Arf. Hey, Arf.
I think I was supposed to say hi or pay attention to something that I forgot now again. Taking this week off, we're doing the best of videos through premieres. Nice. We're going to have to explain that to somebody, Steve.
Well,
fuck that Ubi guy. I'm in his chat all the time, and he won't respond to my comments. It's a premiere.
So a premiere is like a video that's been shot with a live chat on the side.
Yeah. But not everybody.
I'm the
way to know is where we normally say live stream, it'll say premiere instead of live.
Yeah.
I think we skipped over that one, Arf. The voice of Cornhole did ask, though, if you had to have one amp and what pedal to use, what would it be?
Of the amps I have, I would probably. I'd just keep my G20, and if it was a pedal that I have, I'd probably either do the Rev G4 or maybe the Tilt Boost.
So he's into Canadian stuff, clearly.
Yeah.
Canadian amp, Canadian pedal.
Yeah.
What's up, Joe McGraw? And great to see you. And Buddy Holly's birthday today. Yep.
I was basically going to build a Rev board. And then I ended up getting a Strymon, like Cloudburst.
Well, look at you with your high-end gear.
Well,
Strymon isn't something you find at a yard sale for $5, Steve. You know, that's kind of your ultimate foo-foo shishi, you know, outside a boutique, you know, for like a decent, the company that does a large gross of products, you know. As soon as someone says Strymon, I'm like, ooh, Strymon, you're plugging in your 10-top PRS with that, you know. It's like into your, you know, what tune-up.
I went down and got a Strymon Zuma
nice
power supply and some mounts for my pedal board so I can mount it up underneath.
Ooh. Stephen Douglas reporting in. Proud dad moment. 9-year-old made lead guitar in the school jazz band. Now I have to make good on getting him a Les Paul. Nice. Is that a Gibson or an Epiphone Les Paul? I'm curious the terms of this negotiation. Is if this 9-year-old negotiated himself a Gibby, Steve, kudos to that kid.
Right on.
Right?
Yeah. But that's awesome, man, that he's doing well in school.
I would say if I have a choice of any one amp, one pedal, I'll go with a Klon into a Dumble just for the pretentious factor.
Right.
That's what I'll do. Blue Mock, Steve, what blue stripe PV is that in the background?
That is an old on PV Envoy 110 teal stripe.
Nice. Hello, 90s.
It's been chewed on by rats and shit and banged up, and it still goes. A little crackly sometimes, but it'll go.
You can't kill an old PV.
I did take it apart like 3 years ago and kind of blow all the dust out of it. It was the first time it was ever taken apart.
You know what? I'll second that vote. Michael Crow says, I'm voting myself most likely to find a $5 Strymon at a yard sale. I for a guy who found a Mesa Boogie amp in the garbage, I believe he will find, because he's always that. Because there was a time, Steve, when Michael Krause was a channel member, right? And he loved nothing more to show off gear that I hated, right? it'd be like, hey, check out this Dane Electro. I'm like,
That's what I was gonna say.
now, my biggest problem with Dane Electros is not the guitars themselves, which are pretty much garbage, but it's the price of the piece of garbage because they charge about 4 times as what they're worth, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, but they'd be like, yeah, snagged it for $35. And you're like, well, fuck, I'd buy that for $35, and I don't even like them, But for a studio tool for that low output lipstick sound,
Right.
and that's kind of, that's what he does. I got this. You don't like these, do you? No, but it paid the guy paid me $3 to take it from him. Oh, damn. Much like the time
you kind of can't beat that though,
that was like, what was it? A year or two ago, a couple of years ago now, I guess. Yeah, it would have been. The last half stack I bought. I was, over at the local music store, and they said, you're going to buy an amp today. And I'm like, I don't think so. Because I knew I was pretty broke. It was like right before payday.
Right.
Getting paid once a month through YouTube. So it's like a week before, I was like, I don't think I am. And they're like, yep. I was like, they're like, it's a crate. I'm like, swing and a miss. That's strike 1. It's solid state. Strike 2. It's a half stack. Well, that's a ball. It's $35. I guess I'm going home with a fucking crate half stack, aren't I?
Well, $35.
But the funny part is, I didn't bring it home. I drove straight to the pawn shop to see what they give me for it.
I give you 50.
Trying to give me at least 50 for it.
Well, I'll trade you for those 2 pedals.
Yeah. I'll try to trade it for a pack of strings and some picks.
Right. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And then, I brought it home and immediately threw it up on, I think, Marketplace for like $150. Guys are like, oh, this is great. This is professional equipment. I'm like, it's not. It really isn't. And because then the guy originally went from, okay, I'll take it to, oh, can I try it? I was like, okay. And so I had it set up out in the garage because I don't necessarily bring people down here that I don't know,
right,
for obvious reasons. And so I just took my J Tercer and I had it. Oh, this is a nice guitar. I'm like, they retail for under $200, dude. Like, you don't know what you're looking at. That's a photograph of a burst. That's not a real burst.
Right.
And then he didn't even play. He had me play. He's like, well, can you just play? I'm like, you don't know what you're doing, do you? All right. You just see a big amp, cheap, and it's going to look cool in my man cave.
Drum through it a couple of times.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was funny. Comical.
When I went down to Fort Wayne and got my Fender Ultimate Chorus, got a good deal on it. It was $250.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy had a guitar there and let me strum through it a couple times. Right on, man. Fucker will get loud.
What's up, 3J?
You doing, 3J?
Yeah, and honestly, that crate, all I had to do was make noise. It'd be good for, I don't know, making noise. Kid wants crank it up loud, chug away, mid scoop. That sounds awesome. Yeah, try playing with the band now. I can't hear myself. I know, because you've scooped your amp to the EQ of your drums, cymbals, and the bass. Martian Murray asks, how far are you from Sweetwater, Steve?
About an hour. 45 minutes or so.
That's a nice little road trip on a weekend.
Yeah. I might go down there the 27th.
Somebody asked me if I was going down to Gearfest this year. That was weird. Like a weird question. It was like, well, we were waiting for Pete to start. Like, hey, Ben. And I'm like I don't think I recognized the name necessarily. And they're like, you going to Gearfest this year? And I'm like, no. Why would you have, like, my first thought was, why would you think I was? But
you'd been there before.
But I had, yeah.
So, yeah, like.
And I had a bunch of fun when they did go. So, right, Bruce, watching on replay.
Do believe Gearfest is the 27th.
Further in from Albus Bond.
How you doing, man?
My gigging friend that doesn't do face paint. Those who know. Right, Trev? Good to see Aaron. Hope things are well. Kids are back in school. Hopefully you're writing some new material for the next album. Or still playing shows in support of current album. Bo says they're having a physical Gear Fest and they didn't tell me. WTF. Have you been checking your Sweetwater emails the last 6 months?
Yeah, Bo, it's the 27th.
I think they've been doing it
9 to 5
for a couple years now, or at least the last year I thought they did. Just wasn't as big as it once was.
No, like 2018 is the year I missed it, and it was big. And that was like the year I think you were there. 2018, 2019 or something like that.
2018. Yeah.
Right. And yeah, it was big. They had a bunch of stuff there.
4 total pavilion tents, 3 for Sweetwater content, and the 4th one was the flea market.
Yeah. And then when COVID hit, it was kind of just online, and then they opened it up kind of to the public, but it was just really more for like you could always go into the store and do some stuff, but it was mostly like YouTubers.
Yeah, I was going to say, then it was kind of like GitCon, where it wasn't really public. It was just open to a bunch of YouTubers to create content.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool, but not when it used to be open to the public. That's like, that's kind of a, dick move in some way. Yeah, Mary, you used to be able to come here? Yeah, you can't. But you can watch other people here. Aaron also gave us an update. Back up. Just dropped the kiddos off. Got a gig next weekend. That's Alex and him at an art gallery. Oh, fancy. And then trying to line up schedules to track the next 3 songs. Nice. It used to be in the spring as Gear Fest. June. It was the end of June, I thought. I could get my pass. I'm sure it has the date on it. I'm pretty sure it was the end of June. It was only like a couple of weeks after I went to Cosmo Music Fest, which was similar but much smaller. Which makes sense. 1/10 population in Canada.
Joe McGraw asked if they were in Indiana. Yeah, they're in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Sweetwater is, Joe.
Oh, look at that. Holy shit, you're right. I ignored the emails.
There you go, Bo.
Just saying.
You're like
Rock Daddy. Good to see Rock Daddy and
3 hours, Steve. 3 hours from Sweetwater, man. Roughly.
Yeah. It drizzled a lot when I was there. Like, I remember literally standing for, I'm going to say 45 minutes in a drizzle that wanted to rain, but it was enough that you were getting damp, with Robert Baker. And that was the first time I met him. I thought, what a quality guy, standing in drizzle for 45 minutes talking to some idiot from Canada.
Robert's a cool guy.
Yeah, he was really cool. It's funny. I didn't realize he was, I'm not saying he's straight edge, but he's pretty straight edge, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. So I offered him an edible. He's like, no, man, I'm cool. I'm like,
wow, well,
50 milligrams or something. Yeah. Only an 8-hour drive for the Ubi to Fort Wayne. For me, I think it was 10 or 11 hours. I think it was supposed to be 11, but I did it in 10 because even the map app allowed for an hour at the border to get through, because that's normally the busiest border crossing between us. And I showed up, and it was literally one car ahead of me in line, and they were waving them through. So it was literally, I didn't put the car in park. Like, it just pulled up, stopped there just momentarily, and then.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So then it would have recalculated or whatever for your time.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, damn. Which then, of course, when you got the map app going with your ETA, I'm like, let's see if we can knock that number down by a few minutes. Yes. Which, let's be honest, once you start heading west from Toledo along that interstate and it's just flattens out, you can see a cop for miles. But what throws you off is it's supposedly an interstate, but then there's a traffic light. Like outside Defiance. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is there traffic lights on the highway?
Yeah.
Because
it's actually like a highway.
Maybe, was that
like a 4-lane. It's almost like built like an interstate.
yeah.
I'm sure that's you're probably on 30 coming across or something.
Because I remember, like, I crossed to Detroit, headed south to Toledo, and it said, "Don't fucking go to Toledo. Just hang a right on the outskirts of town." I'm like, "All right," and
Right.
that's what they did. And there's Jason, Blue 35 in the house. Good to see you.
Hey, Jason.
It's only 2.5 hours for him.
Earl P.
Yeah, the old Gear Fest was huge. Like say, it was 4 of those big pavilion tents, 3 for in-house gear, and then the one being a flea market. Earl P in the house as well.
How you doing, Earl?
Yeah, it was a fun drive, and then I checked out the hotel, went over to the supermarket.
There's 60
Of course, the supermarket has a clothing section because that makes sense. What? So I picked myself up a pair of like $10 blue jeans and a $5 Tom Petty t-shirt. Mazel. Picked up a case of Canadian beer on sale for the price of a 6-pack for a 24-pack there. And then a bunch of groceries because there was a kitchenette in the room. And then, threw that all in the trunk. And when I got back to the hotel was when I realized, oh, there's a bunch of weed sitting in my trunk. I didn't know about. Fuck! So I had something to smoke during the trip all of a sudden. The trip just took a turn, Steve.
Turn for the better.
Don't remember that because, that was literally, they had changed some of the questioning when crossing the border, we'll just say. And I had some edibles with me. I thought, they which looked pretty unremarkable, and they were just in a Ziploc bag, and just deny the content of them. But when I popped the trunk and sitting right in the cargo net's a fucking sandwich bag and a glass pipe, I'm like, yeah.
Oops.
I had enough of that for 3 days later. I still had a bunch left over that I just gave it to Bruce because I'm not bringing this home. I'm like, here's a weed, here's a pipe, you and your wife enjoy.
That was that just because a song's like 2 times lucky or whatever doesn't mean you have to try it.
I can tell you right now, Zach, it will not be anything like Cosmo Music Fest. It'll just be regular. I don't even know if that live stage is even still there. They may have torn all that shit down. I don't think they're going to do much. To tell you the truth, I'd be shocked if it's anything beyond, like, I don't know, the local store kind of phones it in a bit, but it's one, they don't pay for the entertainment. You want to come play for some people in the parking lot? For how much? Free? No. When in the evening? Oh, no, it'd be at like 1 in the afternoon on a Saturday after Friday night, because that's really close to Friday night. And that in the sun, well, you get free hot dogs. Oh, hot dogs! I'm in.
I would have. I love that. If anybody hasn't heard it, they need to.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a fun time. I bought my Kramer Focus there during the event off a pawn shop from Fort Wayne.
Nice.
For a deal.
It's always nice to come back with something.
Yeah. Bought a Keeley compressor off the store because they had them on sale for, I think they were blowing them out for about $100 US. When they had some like Ernie Ball strings on for like $5 a pack. So I just loaded. I'm like, all right, and I'm doing the math with the conversion rate, and it's still I'm saving 10 to 20% type. I'm like, yep. Just load up on a bunch of random shit.
These things are what, $20 a pack?
No, Ernie Balls are $10 a pack Canadian, or nine Canadian a pack.
I found a 3-pack box today. I'm like, oh, nice.
Yeah, I used to buy those because it was like the cost of like 2.5 packs for a 3-pack, I think, type deal.
Yeah.
I wish I could just buy 10 packs. Some of those you can, but you can't for the coated strings I use, which also a 10-pack would be over $200. So easy. which I do have to order more strings at some point. It's just not in the budget till maybe next month we can buy. I got 2 packs of strings left and 6 guitars that need strings. So we'll figure that out.
Yeah. Well, I found those in a box, so I'm like, sweet.
That's even
I
better.
didn't have to go buy new ones because I was thinking about it, and then I found them. Already paid for. Go in the pile of parts.
Randy Crook says, my Guitar Center nightmare. Buying the guitar and the salesperson asked me 4 times about extended warranty. After saying no 4 times, the dude then tells me sale price on the guitar expired. Yeah, I would have just walked out. He wouldn't be making a sale that day. Like that's the first thing you mentioned to me is if the sale expired.
Yeah, that's
just wasting.
You asked them about it.
Yeah, I probably never shop there again for that level of ineptitude, or ask for a manager. Actually, yeah, you know what? I'd pull a Karen in that situation, Steve. The guy's, he's pressuring you 4 times about the warranty, and then he tells you the sale is expired. I'd ask for the manager. Mention, look, after pushing your goddamn warranty on me 4 fucking times, or I repeatedly say no, your high pressure technique didn't work, and then he pulls this out, blah blah blah. I say, all right.
Then all of a sudden, there's not a sale.
He did. He got the sales price, motherfucker. Yes. All right.
Nice.
Yeah. Rody's Jam Cave. Thoughts on the Epi Les Paul double cut special? Not a fan, honestly. And you lost me at double cut. I don't like double cut Les Pauls. Like it, no. You might as well put a volute. No. It's just, I like Les Paul specials. I don't mind Epiphones, but yeah, you lost me on the double cut. I did a demo of one way back in 2018 when they were selling them left, right, and center.
See, Michael's got it. The only reason he shops there is because some of the times the prices are wrong.
Yep. Yeah, similar to Lang and McQuaid, how you can buy a Korean-made Gretsch at Indonesian Gretsch pricing. So you don't dig the SG? No, I also don't like any guitar that has neck dive. If you can't build a balanced guitar, like you should be able to hang your guitar around your neck and then not go this way. Or my 70s Les Paul used to go the other way, Steve. Like if you let it go, you're going to take a headstock in the temple because it was so ass heavy.
Ass heavy, right? On the tail.
Yeah. Fender can build and design a balanced guitar. Why can't Fender? Hell, you can put it right on your lap and it won't go one way. Hey, look, Mark Taft's here.
Mark, what's up, man?
Yeah, there are a few SGs if you can find them. They're about as rare as hen's teeth that don't neck dive. I have seen them. I even played one once. It was not for sale. I wish it was. But yeah, like I eventually, because an SG can do things that a regular, like a Les Paul can't. This is a thin piece of mahogany instead of thick mahogany with a maple cap. It's going to sound different.
Yeah, they all do their thing.
Especially an SG Junior, because an SG Junior is different than a Les Paul Junior in tone, and it is a thing, especially with the P90. So that I'd be more likely to get an SG Junior over an SG. But they're like super rare and hard to find. You're pretty much looking at custom shop these days for one of them. Good day, Patrick Treitz.
Hi, Patrick.
I don't mind a double cut. A Strat is a double cut, but it's way more offset too. Nice, Zach. Although I will say Darren will pretty much play at the opening of a door. In fact, he was supposed to play down here last night. I don't think he made it. He's like, oh, I'm supposed to play in this area or something. And I'm like, I remember seeing a poster with his name on it. So I looked up and I posted the picture of the poster on his status on Facebook. doesn't pay any attention to it, and then he's still complaining. Oh, just there's no context. He kept calling it the Trent River event. I'm like, there's no place called Trent River. You're playing about 20 minutes from Trenton, so fuck off, from that. And then another person posted the same. He says, "Hey, a friend of yours posted this yesterday." No, I'm not. And then people are literally saying, "There's like 4 places you can buy tickets." It's like, why don't you try one of the 4 numbers on the poster and ask them who's organizing? He's like, "Who's organizing it?" It's like, why don't you try one of the 4 phone numbers that are selling tickets and say, "Hey, who gave you the ticket?" Like shows, and then he's like, "Well, I want to avoid double booking." I don't care. He doesn't watch this. Okay, see. Right? He's like, oh, like I got to have a way to keep track of my gigs. It literally was like, your phone has a calendar. Use it.
Yeah. And they make fucking pen and paper still and calendars. There's all kinds of ways to keep track of shit.
Mark's sitting at Reed's Dairy. You're just over there. You're in Belleville. I see. Yeah, I was just like, wow. And of course, not replying to any of the comments or suggestions or anything. I was like, oh. Drummers.
Right. I mean, what does he need?
Ranger says, I'm looking at Sire, Larry Carlton, L7, will happy with the Epi. By the way, the quilting looks very deep on the top. It's pretty deep. It's not very deep. It's pretty deep, though. It'll be deeper than, deeper than, it is veneer, but it's not where because they don't carve the top on those. But it's still going to be, I'm going to say 1/8 of an inch thick, which is great. Better than a photograph, that's for fucking sure.
Right.
Yeah. And those Sires, love the rolled fretboard edge and the fretwork, which everyone talks was great, but those pickups are garbage that they use. Like, I've heard bottom of the line Squires that sounded better at half the price. It played better than a cheap Squire, but cheap Squire sounded better.
Right. I guess I probably never to them.
And I've heard a lot of guitars, so. 3J's Muse says SGs are one of those guitars where you have to find the right one, but when you do, it's magical. Some are Les Pauls in general. But I just don't like a guitar that's inherently neck divey. That's why I kind of leery on a Firebird. I want one, but they're neck divey.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear they work better if you wear them higher up, but I don't. I play more down towards the
down low.
Like even seated position, that's pretty high for me. Just why I was thinking on Mondays, I might start playing standing up. It's like you don't need to see my face while I'm playing.
Wow.
What else, folks? What else we got? We got 58. 58 people watching. Nice.
Yeah.
We talk Sweetwater. Yay. Talk favorite guitar. That pedal show when they do Firebirds was enlightening. Yep.
We just haven't heard if Bo's planning on to actually making it there now that he knows it's going on.
Right? We'll probably chopper him in or something like that. Who's this big? Oh, it's Bo. All right.
They do have they can land a helicopter there,
They
Bo.
have a helipad there.
It's right there, man, right by the warehouse.
Tom Lind in the house. Randy's asking, Steve, show us your number one, please.
Yeah. Let me grab it.
I don't have a number one myself. I have 1 through 20, and they're all kind of tied for first. Because they all do different things. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Hit that like. Helps a fella out. Next week, we got good friend Chad, a.k.a. Tabinin1, coming on. We're going to be talking, we're doing a deep dive on Ernie Ball Access. I have Access Super Sport. We're talking about. Right on, Bo. I hear clicking of a hard shell case. Latch. You don't hear the case clicking. Latch clicking.
It is this one.
Oh, here, let me solo you out. How do you do? Oh, yeah. I'm looking to solo out like you do on Zoom, but it doesn't work that way.
There.
Okay.
What's that? There.
Fancy.
On the back is that.
It's got a little Ibanez Firebird nod as well as a little bit of an RD in there. Oh, look at that neck. Oof, damn. Fancy. It's got a volute, though. I'm out. Sorry, Steve. It's got a volute.
Oh,
Ew. It
does.
Yo, you can sand that, right? Wow, that's a big one, too. Jesus.
Yeah.
You can sand that right off. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Just get some 40 grit on a belt sander.
It's grinder right down. But yeah, it's
like TV Jones in there or something.
Yeah, it's got a Powertron and a Powertron Plus in it.
Nice.
But this is the one. This is the guitar that I won from Justin for Halloween.
Right on.
So yeah,
Hip approves.
Pretty nice. I like it. I don't leave it out very much. I just keep it in the case and then get it out sometimes.
Yeah, like me with my Explorer. It doesn't sit on the rack right, so I'm not going to have it out just on a stand all the time, burning off the lacquer.
Yeah. Like I'll hang it sometimes behind me, but because of the bottom, it doesn't really want to set.
Mm-hmm.
It'll sit on the one stand I got, but I'm still like, yeah, I'm not willing to risk it. So
you can keep your volutes, Munch. You can just keep all of them. Otherwise, it'll be a warm and toasty Christmas when they're all on the fire. Volutes roasting on an open fire. What? It is Explorer adjacent. I will say that, Mike Gross. I'm pretty sure they designed the Iceman to get after the lawsuit for the Explorer, or Destroyer as they called it.
I do have an Iceman body.
Nice. Just a reminder, folks, we're doing Canucks with Guitars tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be giving away some more channel memberships, as well as playing some music, and we'll do some bad album covers, as well as Q&A session. Go get your drugs, Mark.
Yeah, we were talking about part casters and things. I have an Iceman body that Derek from Big D Guitars made.
Mm-hmm. Right on, Billy.
That's pretty nice.
Oh, we mentioned 2 weeks from tonight, we do have Greasy Monkey Guitars. Oh, and Richard Nagamitsu was asking, what's on your pedal board? I should ask, do you have a pedal board?
Nothing is on it right now.
There you go. Nothing. That's the answer. Stock.
It's in the box over there. Well, actually, I take that back. What is on it is a power supply and the mounts, but they're just sitting on top of the other box. So technically nothing.
I have a bunch of stuff on mine. It's due to be rebuilt. Dangerous to make. Different mark, Taft. Mark Spurgeon has to take his medication, his drugs. If you're reading the chat there, you would know that.
Yeah, I got this.
Ooh, look at that. If Ferd Burfell's lurking, he's like, nice. Charles, you can't wrap that one.
No. Sorry, Charles. I got a couple other bodies and it's got some binding on the side of it there.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's one of my projects that I got.
Move it back and forth in front of the camera, but I'm just looking for the movement in it. Oh, yeah. It's kind of more of a quilt, right? And a flame.
Yeah, the TV's glaring onto it.
Yeah.
Real bad. Getting bad glare.
Charles. Oh, come on.
Now I've got a telly body over here. I don't think he's ever seen either. He's seen my blue one?
No. And Joe McGraw is asking what pickups you're going to put in that thing, in that Iceman.
I haven't really decided yet for that. I kind of have an idea for this one here.
Michael Krause is asking the origin of the body as well.
What's that?
Michael Krause is asking, where did that come from? And then Richard Nagmus is like, what else have you built, Steve? Can you show us something completed? Yes, Richard, we can do that.
I can. I can show you this one.
Yeah, he built this.
Yep. The body is a kit body that Derek from Big D got, and he just stained it just to do a test stain on it. But I put the rest of it together. It's got a Fender vintage bridge. I made the pit guard. It's got a Mojo Tone 4-way switch, fender neck, roasted maple, locking tuners, and here's the back.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a little bit of figuring in the neck. I don't know if this camera will show it or not very well, but yeah, and it's got the pickups are a set of Pistolero pickups from Sonic Pickups, and he makes pickups for James Tyler guitars. Mike does. That's one of them. That's the one I got put together.
We're not set up to play stuff, Blue Mox.
This is one here.
Ooh.
It comes alive pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just imagining like if that shined up. Ooh.
It's got velvet oil on it.
Right.
Velvet oil finish. And then it looks great in the sunlight or a little better lighting, you know.
Hey, Jim.
Can't really tell as good in here. But and then he's got some videos too of him actually staining this.
Mm-hmm.
This body is, I want to say, an African mahogany body with a Kimball hardwood maple top on it. On there.
Right on. Jim just got back from a 3-day music festival, so we might have to speak up.
No. I think this body's Karina. Yeah, this one's Karina, if I remember right. The body's Karina.
Which is a type of mahogany.
Yeah, like black Limba or Karina. And then Kimball hardwood's top on here, on this one. I got a couple projects. And it's all about what parts you want to put on there and what kind of pickups or what you want to spend on it.
Sure.
What your budget is. And the project, when you want it finished, what do you want it to be?
Mm-hmm. I'm more. Ooh, orange sparkle.
So you like a little orange color into something?
Not really. It was just orange sparkle. It was different. The last time, ooh, red sparkle. Actually, no. The last time, ooh, green sparkle. And then the time before that, ooh, red. Yeah, sparkle. Basic. If it's sparkly, I'm probably gonna buy it.
Right. And then for the bridges, like I've got these bridges here. One of them. That there. It's a Faro bridge.
Mm-hmm.
It's stainless steel with compensated brass saddles on it.
Nice.
And then I've got a little short, like half one for the humbucker guitar. I make a little short half bridge, and they're either top load or through the body. Either one.
Nice. I gotta get that so I can finally put the B bender on one of my tellies. I need a bridge that's both because I don't want to top load all of it.
Right.
But I have to have a top load style for the string to go back into the B bender and G bender. No? Or what did I do? B bender. Oh no, it's B bender and the drop D option, I think.
Yeah, it's got the holes in the back or in the body plate there.
Bo says he gave up on finding a sparkle guitar. You gave up way too easy on that, Bo. They're out there. You just have to buy directly off a dude as opposed to a company. Buy used instead of new.
Richard asks, what do I find the most difficult?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably making sure the neck is on straight. But then I got some string that I'll run up through the tuners and through the bridge, and I'll get it measured out with some tape, and I'll get it kind of taut a little bit and kind of held there and make sure that neck is lined up with the bridge and all the pickup will fit in there like it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Blue Mox asks, can anyone explain what the ashtray is for? I can. So the original Telecasters had this cover. I have an ashtray. I don't have it here, but it's in the workshop. It's by 71. Still had the ashtray when I got it. Basically, the idea, because nobody was palm muting, and so it saved your hand from hitting those high pole pieces, because if you need anyone that knows that needs a neck shim for a guitar, when you got the height adjustments poking up through the bridge, can't really palm mute. But also because due to the single coil pickups, the idea was to cut down on noise. Like that's why, like the P bass, you'll see that metal bar just over it. People will take it off because it's right in the middle of your playing area. But same idea, it's just to cut down on noise. Yeah, so string bender exact pitch. Here, I'll show you. What can a string bender do that a vibrato bar can't do? It bends only one string instead of all six. So you can hold a chord and then bend one string into another chord, basically. Oh, that was load bearing. Oops, there we go. I know the pizza's so good, Arf. I was talking about that with my sister the other day. This is a surface mount B bender, so you don't have to, drill out everything on your guitar. I think I have all the pieces still. I think I might have lost something there. With a drop D option as well. So this mounts right, literally uses your strap button as a mount. So boom, on the back of the guitar. This is your drop D, which you fine tune, how much it goes down. You also have the fine tuner here. The B bender, how's that work? Kaha! This goes in, let's see, like that. So the bar's there, and you would just against your hip. And it's made by Hip Shot.
Nice. So it's reversible too.
Where did you get that? Yeah, I've had this for years. I just never got around to installing it, so I don't have the right bridge. Yeah, with the multiple palm benders, same idea. Duesenberg makes them with the palm benders. An old school Hip Shot. This is what I love. You'd think you bought this in 1986. Here's the entire instructions, Steve. Basically, an exploded diagram.
Nice.
And then flip it over as a handful more. Oh, and then another piece stapled on. But yeah, it just comes in a regular box. Like it's so old school. It's awesome. In that respect.
Directions don't need to be complicated.
Nope. Actually, you know what? There's a demo of one of these that I could even show Steve because it's one of the most hilarious demos, and we're not monetized anyways. And it's Johnny. Oh, what was Johnny's last name? Flagstaff? Johnny. Give me a sec here, folks. We'll watch the demo together.
Yep. I would like to check out some Dylan Talks tone pickups. Like Dylan. And everyone I've talked to or have seen seems to think he does some good stuff. Always happy with his pickups.
Easy. Pause. There we go. All right. So tune in. Oh, this is going to be good, folks. Steve, you're going to laugh your ass off. First of all, the throwaway lines. Anybody that's gigged, anybody that's gigged is going to laugh their ass off. So just go here. Just lower the volume on it a bit. There's an echo cancellation and shit. So I think that's what I want to do. Share screen. There we go. All right, we're here. And we'll go full screen. Enjoy, folks.
Country music goes.
Spring has sprung. Today we're going to bend some strings. One string in particular. The B string. When your pedal steel player is taking a piss, smoking a cigarette, puking in the parking lot, too drunk to play, or just too damn expensive for tonight's Mickey Mouse gig, then this little doodad right here comes in handy. I use the Hip Shot for more than one reason. You don't destroy your guitar when you install it. One strap button screw right here, and you're in like Flynn. And it only cost about $125. You're welcome, no. Hip Shot. Now, the way this works...
Costs way more now.
Oh, yeah.
Is you have a bar. It slips in here just like so. You move the guitar against your body like so. Kind of the same action that the pedal steel has. He moves the knee levers, you shake your hip. Normally the way the Hip Shot is set up, it bends the B string up a whole step. You can fine tune it right here with this little stop. So what do you say we give her a whirl?
That thing's cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Immediately upon watching this, Steve, I called my hip shop rep and I'm like, I need this.
Yeah, that
And
thing's all right.
Now, I'm not saying that this takes the place of a pedal steel player. Nothing takes the place of a pedal steel player. But when you're in a pinch, it might be the next best thing. Happy picking.
He still to this day performs in a nudie suit on occasion, Steve. He actually owns a nudie suit. I'm like, oh, you lucky bastard.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, that thing's cool, man.
Steel player bends his knee. You shake your hip. Yep. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, who is this guy? And I tracked him down. And he was going to come on the show a few years ago, but some things fell through. Steve Franklin, what did I just watch? Well, I hope that answered Richard Nagamitsu's questions. Like, why do you want to bend just one string? Well, you play the honky tonk music then, Steve. Like,
yeah.
I think Charles just had life-changing experience. He's like, everyone needs one of those on the telly. I'm just saying. Right? Who doesn't want a nudie suit? Nudie suits are the best. If you don't know what a nudie suit is, well, that's your own loss. Yep, I knew Charles. Yep.
It's better than having to grind out the whole back and put like a traditional mechanized B bender in the back of your guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Hooked to the button strap.
That's what I'm saying. And what you can do is you can have the B bender on your hip, but then have one of the palm buttons for the G bender. And then I think you could do 3 benders, and then I have the drop D tuning there, as opposed to putting it on the headstock, which it'll have. And it's just a little cam operated. Waylon used to do that. It was fucking awesome. Banjos would have that. Banjo tuners.
Right.
My goodness, I don't know if I want that in my search history. I just like when he's like, if your steel players, out taking a piss or out in the parking lot having a smoke or too drunk to play or too expensive for this Mickey Mouse gig that you got booked.
Yeah. Pretty much all the scenarios. Yeah.
Right. So there you go, folks.
Yeah, that'd be cool to make a parts caster and put that on there.
Right. He makes that thing sing too. Hey, Richard Clark, good to see you.
Hey, Richard.
Yeah. Yeah, I forget what it was. I was looking up B benders. Like I'm like, there's got to be a less intrusive, or maybe because I'm just into B benders, so I was doing a YouTube search, and then I came across Johnny's video, and I'm like, what is this?
Right.
And who is this? Especially with his little rockabilly outro there, with the slapback and a harmonica. I'm like, Johnny Falstaff live, and he was based in Germany for years. Which go figure, because he'd be the only honky tonk. Like, you think he doesn't stand out on a Friday night in Germany?
Oh,
hey, how y'all doing with the hat and that smile?
Yeah, denim.
I bet you can't have that on for tomorrow night. Well, I know I can't because I don't have a bridge to use for it. That's part of it. So yeah. So I got it. I just haven't got around to installation. You can actually put a couple screws through the top too into the guitar if you want to mount it more secure than just using your strap button.
Right.
Mount.
Yeah, that'd be great if you decided.
It can be invasive, but really, it's not that invasive. It's 2 screw holes,
right?
If at all. He plays both kinds, country and western, right? And he wouldn't even say that. He's like, I just play honky tonk music. All right. Easy there, Hank Williams. Oh, cat's crying upstairs. That's nice. She's like, are you done yet? No, I'm still doing the show.
It's after 9. You haven't fed me.
Yeah. Except I did before the show. That's the problem. Like that was coming up 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
No, and nobody's donated for you to get treats. So no treats for you. That's the treat link down below, folks. The virtual tip jar. If you'd like my cat to get fatter,
come rolling in.
Right. Still mad when she's trotting across the yard and the neighbor's like, so when did she do? I'm like, nope, she's just fat and old. It's like, no, she's carrying kittens. I'm like, no, she's been fixed for over a decade.
That's funny.
Yeah,
She's got that big a belly on.
Back and forth under her when she's trotting along. They call it a sweeper.
So is anybody out there building anything?
Yeah, what we got going on out there? Oof, that sucks, Mike. Yeah, we got 54 people in the house. Next week, we got Chad Tobin joining us. 2 weeks from tonight, we got Greasy Monkey Guitars. 3 weeks from tonight, about 5 weeks from tonight, Travis back with another episode of Hot Dogs and Hash.
Ooh. Charles is doing hot dogs and hash.
I wish Charles was doing hot dogs and hash. I would tune into that. And if you'd like to join the cast of Hot Dogs and Hash, you just have to have some hash and eat hot dogs.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. BC's going to try to get around to two pedal builds for this winter. I got half of it. I did a pedal kit once, Steve. Half of it sitting on my workbench for 5 years. I started it in 2020. The footage, I think, is still on my phone even for the first half of the build. Never to be released.
Still to be continued, maybe.
Randy's doing hash right now. Stephen Franklin says hash under the glass. I'd rather just do it through my bong. Hash through the glass. I'm just saying. That's raunchy. By the time it's all gathered in the glass, it gets kind of stale. And we still have some Afghani gold seal. Right there.
Joe's going to start on an HSH Ibanez Geo.
The pickups cost more than the guitar, but the guitar is great. There you go. The Geos are definitely better than they used to be. They used to be very toy-like, but they've definitely got better over the last few years.
Be a cool project.
I built a 2003 Gibson Platform Studio. I don't know what a platform studio. I know it's a studio, but a platinum. Okay. Michael Cross, I need to sell some stuff so I can buy some stuff. Yeah, I know that feeling. Platinum. I figured it was platinum.
Kush is building a dual humbucker Strat.
Cool.
Nice.
You know, a couple people that play some Strats.
Charles
Just
is
so
guitar.
yeah, sounds like a Les Paul with a trem. Basically, the idea behind it.
Yeah. It sounded good through a Marshall.
Zach, with Matt's around, I'm never seeing hot dogs. All right. If I can see Michael Crow, $60 for a Geo with a weird neck on it. Let's see. Billy says, I've got a strap body, got a neck, plus some hardware. Need to get motivated to finish it. Yeah, I get it.
I do got a neck. I got a
several projects I've been on the go for years.
I
One I really got to get going, Steve, consider it was for my one niece for her birthday after grade 8, and she's now in grade 12. I should probably get on that. Otherwise, she's going to be off to college with no
graduation. Graduation gift.
Richard's still in basement heaven with his 3 recent trades. Nice. And plus, didn't you sell like 35 guitars or something ridiculous recently? That was only half of them, Steve, because he had about 70, I guess. I was like, what? As I sip on my pop, I remember I have orange and not root beer tonight. I remembered as I smelled it. At least I went, all right, orange. So my body knew. It wasn't the immediately, what? Victor Beebe, I'm building a Warmoth, a Velocity body with neck humbucker and tele lap steel bridge pickup. Nice. And for those who don't know what a lap steel bridge pickup, it's higher output, basically. It's an overwound pickup. Do you though, Mike?
Congrats, Mike.
Well, I wouldn't say it's so much quality control, Joe, as they're actually putting quality into it. Because, like, when a guitar is not built with quality at all, that's because the manufacturer asked them to build it that cheap. Like, you let's say you go to a factory in China, Steve. Literally, they're like, we can build you a guitar for $100. We can build you one for $200. We can build you one for $300. We can build you one for $400. Like, all those prices, and there's going to be a little difference between each and every one of them, all the way up to we can build you a guitar for $2,000, and that $2,000 guitar is going to be on par with any custom shop guitar.
Yeah,
it all depends on what's ordered, you know.
Yeah,
company generally what kind of wood? They're like just new growth is fine. New growth poplar. Well, your guitar is going to be about 9/10 scale in about half a dozen years. It's going to shrink down. That's why you see the waves in the finish, or especially if it's a multi-piece, you'll start seeing the seams where the glue is, because that area doesn't shrink at the same rate or at all.
Right. Yeah. It just stays glue.
Yeah. So you just get those lines.
Yeah.
Which you see a lot of cars over time, but generally it shows up after 20, 25 years, not 5. You know. You'll see vintage Fenders that are that way. 2-piece body, you'll see a seam. But it took 40 years of shrinkage for it to show up.
Right.
And also, those are the ones that are painted and not a burst. So, like, I remember when I was a little kid, like, Dad's guitar, the Telly back there, it started getting chipped up and stuff. And his other guitar playing band, he was playing an old Telly as well, which he had no finish, because what guys would do is the blonde finish would start all chipping off. So the big debate was, do I just take all of it off and then just clear it? Is they just put a clear coat or a varnish, whatever, something kind of clear over it, and leave it natural looking.
A natural finish.
Right, which is cool, because it would have like wood grace, because they're a nice ash and older bodies. So, or it's going to look like shit because it's going to be a multi-piece, or there's a knot in the wood. At that point, then you got to pay somebody to repaint it, and now it's worthless. Because it was weird. Like, if it was worth, I don't know, let's say $5,000 with the chipped up paint and stuff, it's only really going to be worth $4,000 if you take the paint off and leave it clear. But it's only worth $3,000 if you shoot it blonde again.
Right.
For some,
because it's not original.
That's the way they were in that generation, right?
Right. Yeah. The refinish.
Joe says the Creamer Beretta is a great guitar for the price, but expect at least upgrade the tuners to locking and replace the bridge too with the Goto. I'd also replace the cheap ceramic pickup, and that is some cheap wood. That is those are cheap guitars. I have one. You know, Fred Charles fabric wrapped it, but yeah, literally. I don't think they're like the output jack was okay. That was kind of it. The output jack was okay. And I say okay because it's a barrel style, and I hate barrel styles. they all fail for whatever reason. They look cool. But of course, with display of that headstock too, you can't really use the trem too much.
Right.
Sort of like the Jacksons with the Fulcrum trem. It's just too much of a spread with those strings. They're going out at every angle as soon as they pass the nut. And you can lube that nut all you want, but they're still going to bind. Because they're taking off at like a 45-degree angle. Like a couple of them.
Some of those Kramers.
Yep.
Like the pointy headstock ones I got. And I have a theory about some of that, but I just never really brought it up. Like,
not as bad as a Modern, no kidding. But at least a Modern's a hardtail, Mike. Well, the thing is, if you look at some of them, Joe, like some of the, I thought about string trees. I don't know if it's my Kramer or it might be the Jackson I sold to Mark Taft, but like the high E, at one point, Steve, actually travels over air. Like it leaves the headstock, goes over air, and then rejoins the headstock again. It kind of cuts across. So there is a brief point where that string isn't even over a headstock anymore.
Yeah, I think my red Kramer might be the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to grab it, but I think it's just like it's just barely off the headstock. Or just
barely, yeah. It's close.
Barely off, like it's close, but it's not quite on there.
Yeah, which you understand why one fender has a much more straighter run, if not perfectly straight. Come to think of it, like a Strat and a Telly are pretty much straight on. So, somebody was asking what your theory is. Randy was asking what your theory is on the headstock. Do you care to share that knowledge publicly?
On the Kramer, well. Yeah, on the Kramer guitar, on those strings being so far off to the edge like that. I think they just string the way they string the E, the A, and the D. So they go more straight,
right?
Like normal is fine, but I think they just string that same direction on your G, B, and E. Because it's easy in the factory. I think the direction of that should be changed over. So it's kind of like you're tuning a 6x6 where you're doing the first. Yeah.
Yeah, what you mean. Yeah, they have three of them reversed tuners.
And then have the upper three reversed so it brings the string in, which would reduce your string angle going off if you don't have a locking nut. So your strings are coming just slightly straighter off the nut.
That's where I'll disagree, Joe. He says it's great for a beginning guitar, so you're not paying big money and lose interest. But the problem is you can't use the trem because of the way that spread is. You can't keep it in tune if you want to use that trem at all. Whereas a Fender style, where it's a straight through, even without lubing the nut, it's going to have much more tuning stability. See it, Earl? But for the cool factor, I get it, because a Kramer Beretta with a single humbucker looks way cooler than a Strat with the bat pick guard and the 3 single coils. You're like, well, that looks like my dad's guitar. I want something cool.
Yeah, the Kramer does look cooler. But yeah, I think that's my theory. Is
kind of my thinking in the 80s. I just thought that. Like who was playing Strats in the 80s was like Clapton. I'm like, the dude that wears a suit on stage, for fuck's sake,
Yeah.
Okay. David Gilmour, I'm like, all right, same thing, kind of, it was like all the cool guys with long hair and earrings and, tattoos, they're all playing humbuckers with wiggle sticks. And,
yeah. All the old people were playing Strats or
SRV. Yeah.
Yeah, SRV.
But SRV seemed like that he seemed like the young kid in the old man game, though. You know what I mean? Because he was another blues player trying to get
another blues player. Yeah, all the rockers were playing Ibanez or Kramers or.
And again, this is all through the filter of preteen Ben in the 80s. That's just what my impressions were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
didn't
that's
care for Pink Floyd in the mid 80s. I didn't get it. Of course, I was a child and didn't do drugs. And I don't know. David Gilmour came across as pretty fucking pretentious in the 80s. And Roger Waters clearly was way too pretentious because he still is. Hey, Ted.
Yeah, so that's my kind of theory on the strings
Yep.
not quite being right, is that they just do it at the factory because it's easy to do it all in the same direction like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if they were changed just so you were doing it the opposite way, that would bring that string in just a little bit straighter to the off of the nut there.
It doesn't really matter when you have a locking nut, right?
Yeah, if
Like,
you have a locking nut, that doesn't matter.
Let's see, this is what we're talking.
Right.
Like, yeah,
The ones with the locking nut don't matter.
Yeah, all right. I don't know if we're gonna get the high speed on camera, but yeah, it is right at the edge. There we go. Get the shine on it. It is right at the edge of the headstock.
It like hangs off like 2/16 or something off the edge of the neck, off the headstock.
Yeah, I'm like looking, and literally the A string is almost straight, but that's the only thing that's even close to being straight. Like if we look at it that way. See, they're all. Yeah, like look at that high E.
Yeah.
You notice it there.
It's right off the edge right there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Tom?
Whereas if it was on the other side, the back side of that, or like the inside of the tuner there towards the center of the headstock, it would bring it towards, it would at least be on the headstock then and not hanging off of it.
I gotta tighten this bar ever so slightly. I don't like it super loose. Anyways, yeah, there we go. That's the Kramer I got at Gear Fest. Same thing.
Right on.
It's all tempered tuning. I don't use tempered tuning. I use straight A440 tuning. Floyd's are cool, just a learning curve. Well, they serve a purpose, If you want to have aggressive drum work, or really if you just do a lot of drum work, I get the advantage of it. Like even if you're traditionally a Strat player, Steve, but you just found like every third song I got to check my tuning. Well, now you don't. More or less. Unless atmospherically is changing.
Yeah, the guitar swelling up or getting hot from lights or something.
Well, that's Eddie, Tom, because he pressed it too hard. That's why. I get it. I do that with my G string. I leave it a touch flat because I usually bend it too hard, press too hard. It also helped if Eddie had actually mounted the bridge in the right position of his Frankenstrat. There's that, because that guitar was never intonated properly.
Yeah, but it played good for him.
It seemed to work, yeah. In spite of all that, he seemed to persevere.
Like, does it really need to be intonated that much?
Well, I suppose. Well,
sounds good.
I was going to say when the singer's barely on key most of the time,
right.
It doesn't matter.
When it's all as some of its parts,
right?
It all comes out pretty good.
Exactly. I never understood. It's like the very first Floyd Roses that didn't have the fine tuners on them. I'm like, really? Because every time I lock down the locking nut, it always pinches the strings a bit sharp. So you'd have to leave it just slightly flat, and then hopefully when you tighten them down, it takes it up to pitch.
Yeah.
Well, Beck would play his guitar completely out of tune, and then bend a chord and like fret harder, not to or whatever, to because he liked a challenge. I was like, I like being in tune and have it as easy as possible myself. I prefer to smooth ride, but I'm not the guitar virtuoso that Beck is. So, or was. Still is.
I think some of Jeff Beck's first guitars were just like not very nice in the first place. So he would have to bend his strings to be in tune.
Mm-hmm.
And then like some of the real early ones he made out of like wires and shit himself.
Oh, it's crazy.
If I remember right. Like when he was a little kid.
We're going to go a little while longer here, folks. It's been a fun show. Some great topics and questions thus far.
Yeah, been fun, man.
If you too would like to be a guest, reach out at the email down below. Might do a group hang actually coming up maybe in 3 weeks. We're due for one of those too. That's not necessarily edible based. Just a community hang.
So Charles,
the 80s, Michael Krause. Yeah, everybody had a Jackson at one time, it seemed. Or even like Gilmore was saying in the Beato interview the other day, he would put Charvel necks on his Strat bodies to get an extra fret. See you, Tom.
Have a good night, Ben. Tom. As I read it.
Richard Nagamitsu, reach out. Well, it's like to have someone on for the first time. Rick's due. We could show off some of your collection, some of your pedals and whatever. Talk basement amps. Sure. Hit a fellow up.
Yeah, Richard be fun guest.
How about 3 weeks from tonight, Richard?
Lee says he's got more stories.
Lee's got more stories. Nice. Awesome. Yeah, I could have a good sit down with Rick.
Yeah, that'd be
Chevette recently. Ooh, killer Chevette. Oh, that hurts. I don't know about that. I remember playing on quite a few Chevettes back in the day, and they were literally that midpoint between a Hondo and a Charvel. It was wow. Randy says, last question. What are your next acquisitions?
Well, I need to get parts.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's talking a guitar, I don't have a 12 string. So I was thinking maybe a fella within the next 6 months or so could save up and maybe get himself one.
Okay. Acoustic or electric?
Acoustic.
Okay.
I do believe. Yeah.
Nice. The plan before the last one had been a Les Paul. That's still the plan, although that can be put aside for, who knows? Because I kind of like when guitars stumble into my life, Steve, because it's meant to be. Yeah,
right.
Like that Gretsch.
Right. Well, it kind of like my, you've seen my Fender Custom Telecaster with the flame maple top. Kind of stumbled across that one, and it had the certain things that I wanted, or even my Les Paul. I just happened to walk into that store that day and got it really cheap. So I was like, cool.
You got to tune in tomorrow to see what album covers come up, Rick. That's the way it works. My knees hurt. Finally made it. He's been helping out the parents.
We're having a good night. My knees hurt.
Been there. So he finally made it. So we got to go at least a few more minutes now. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, I don't know what brand, but
I haven't played a bunch of acoustics over the last couple of years. If you want to go super affordable, my recommendation would be a Yamaha. If you want to go less affordable, Martin X series, which are made in Mexico. But quite nice. If you want to be stupid, full on Martin 12 string, made in Nazareth. Did it cost you an arm and half a leg?
Yeah, I don't have too many of those.
No, I don't know. Most of us don't have Nazareth money, Steve.
Pretty much ripped off all my arms and legs.
Yeah. I don't really have Nazareth money myself. The thing was, it was looking pretty sure I would probably have a Les Paul soon, but instead I'm investing some of that money when it comes into getting my Martin restored and my 71 Telly up and running as well, which was going to require see if they can heat press the neck out. I might even get, actually, you know what? I might get the 67 refretted as well. Like, just shoot the moon and spend the money. Seagull does make a 12 string, I think.
All right. I know Breedlove makes one,
Yeah.
and I saw it and heard it at Sweetwater when I went down there when they had the NAMM display, and it was pretty nice. Not real big or anything, but so I might look into something like that. But
most stores that have an acoustic room will have at least one or two 12s hanging around. I'm trying to think, like that app phone that I just recently demoed. That guitar has been around, bouncing around various stores for 6-7 years. I think it was a 2019. They discontinued that line in 2019. See you, Randy. Trying to think. I don't know if I played. I played. Was that Guild 12? But I'm pretty sure I played the Martin 12. I just recently did the Epiphone. I don't recall a Gibby 12 there. Or seeing a Gibby 12. I'm sure they exist. But yeah, Hips 12 string is a Breedlove.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
Bo has a couple of 12 string Seagulls. Richard had a Dean acoustic that was surprisingly awesome. Okay. That's the thing. When it comes to acoustics, it's really what your ear likes. Like, I know what my ear's tuned for Martin D28 as being the ultimate sound for an acoustic guitar, because that's what I heard my dad playing growing up. Most of the albums that featured acoustic guitar, like the big three for me being Neil Young, fucking D28. Harvest, that's all 28. Led Zeppelin's acoustic stuff, huge influence.
Yeah.
That's Jimmy with his 28. But even like Pink Floyd stuff, a lot of that Martin acoustic. Then the only other time was like the Stones, but that you could tell that was a Hummingbird because they have a very mid-scoop sound, which is okay. But I'm like, that can't project compared to a Martin. And so that's been my standard. Everything gets compared to a Martin D28 and how close you can get to that robust sound. What's up, Manfred? D45 for Neil. Same thing. Sonically, it's going to sound the same. It's a 45 is just a fancier 28. It's got more fancy stuff, inlays and such.
Right.
As opposed to a D35, which is like a 28 but with a 3-piece back. Rick has a Hummingbird. I do like the. I prefer a Dove. I like the Dove's a little brighter because that's with all maple. Tom Petty wrote most of his stuff on the Dove. Zach says, if you like me, you have a bunch of acoustic guitars. I usually had a couple around, but again, like as soon as I started playing, Dad's 28 was sitting right there, Steve. So, right. And my first guitar was an acoustic, and it was a Fender Dreadnought size, and I'd play it, and it just sounded like 8/10 as good. It was just a little quieter, a little thinner. It's just a little less.
Yeah.
And then I'd just be pulling at the 28, and I'm like, fuck this thing. The neck is amazing. It's a small V neck. Sounds amazing. Bosa's played a J200 at my son's wedding. Awesome guitar. I used to have a EJ200 Epiphone. Mark Taft owns it now. Jumbo body. It was nice. That served a purpose. I needed an acoustic with digitals in it, basically. And I bought it on a Thursday, and I gigged with it that Saturday. Actually, I started the deal Tuesday or Wednesday, picked it up Thursday because I got paid. So yeah, they put half down, picked up the rest. And the guy's like, oh, by the way, Steve, set it up for you. So, because it had some shims under the bridge and the action was a bit high. So he's like, the action was a bit high. So I took those shims out. I'm like, oh, like, please tell me you still have those shims. He's like, yeah, why? Do you like really high action? I'm like, no, but I play in drop C and it's set up for E standard. So I'll be dropping in a full step, which is going to relax that neck. And
yeah.
So, oh, yeah, here you go. Thanks. D2 it, pull the bridge out, slide the back in.
Right.
Like, fuck. Sorry. He's like, I didn't. I'm like, I get it. Like, for anyone else, great idea, but you know.
Lee likes his Takamine.
Sure. Takamine.
It's got a. That's your Talman, isn't it?
I don't think 5 acoustics is hoarding, really, Mike. 12, maybe. 5.
I've got a Talman, a Takamine Talman, and that's Nyman's Talman guitar acoustic. My bad, not a Takamine.
I'm not going to take the time to make a new saddle, Joe, for an Epiphone acoustic. I picked it up secondhand at the store. Boom. I saw it. Boom. Just came in. Just happened to need something. Again, it's kind of that synergy thing. They worked a bit with me. I used it, gigged with it, and then I think pretty much sold it to Taft for what I had into it. Like, pretty much, because it retained its value and surprisingly came out of a lot of gigs. Well, not a lot of gigs, but let's say a dozen, plus another 24 rehearsals with it, or just playing on its own. I even took it on vacation with me. Yeah, it's just, good poly paint. It doesn't scratch, They didn't get dropped, didn't get chipped. Sold it to him, and because I didn't play it anymore because I wasn't gigging, and I had the Martin, so it's like I'm not going to be playing an Epiphone if I got a Martin sitting here, a vintage Martin at that. Which, again, the funny line that Gilmore said to Beato the other, I wish I could take a bunch of acoustics and give them to acoustic players. Here, play these for a few years, so they get all broken in.
Yeah.
Nice, Zach. Sister Goldhair is a great song.
Yeah, that is a good song.
Eston Ray's got a Dean Electric 12-string. Need to find a better bridge for it. Is it a Dean Boca? Let's see. Is it a Dean Boca, Eston? And if you're wondering what a Dean Boca looks like, it's like a ES339, the smaller brother to the 335, double cut F holes, 12-string, semi-hollow.
That's
neck
different.
dive like a motherfucker. Otherwise, I'd own one. If it did neck dive, I'd own it. We needed it. An electric 12, or Rich wanted to add an electric 12 to the band, and we couldn't find anything locally, couldn't find much in Canada. He ended up ordering it out of Florida for a deal, but fuck, it got held at custom and basically it was double the price by the time he got it. which is ridiculous.
From Customs.
Yeah, it basically doubled the price. Between Customs and I think it was delivered through like a third party, like a FedEx or a UPS, and they'll charge you $100 just to process that paperwork, which is stupid. Well, that's our brokerage fee for what? You know, nobody's doing it. It's all automated, Steve. Nobody's doing shit. It's all automated.
Yeah.
It's that one. Why do I have to pay $100 for an algorithm? That Jazzmaster 12 was cool. 12 string. Yes. Is that somebody's signature guitar? I want to say Queen's the Stone Age dude or something like that. I don't know. He's got an electric 12 Jazzmaster made in Mexico, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
No, I don't have a Jazzmaster.
I think acoustics currently. Martin and my nylon string are the only two. And my nylon string, I wanted a very specific guitar. And what that was, Steve, is a low to mid-end, low to mid-level, made in the 70s, made in Japan, nylon string. Cheap import. What would today be a Chinese or Indonesian guitar, probably, for the price point. But that's what I want, like a cheap import, made in Japan. And I had a price in my mind because it used to be at pawn shops all the time, you know, for like $75. And all of a sudden they jumped, doubled in price up to almost $200 for the same thing. I'm like, And then Mark and I, he doesn't remember because we know he failed that trivia contest. We found it for like $50 or $60 or something. I'm like, missing string, frets are like half are green, the other actually have flaky rust, you know, starting to fall. Right. I'm like, perfect. I'm like, because I have fret erasers. Like this, I'm looking at an hour or two.
It's grinding that stuff off there.
You're like, ooh, am I gonna have to hit this with a file first? You know,
right?
I was like 150 grit to start with, and just worked it.
Yourself down.
Nope. Not much left of the frets, anyways. Too. These are very low, very small. And they went old school with the nylon planes being actually black instead of clear with the ball ends, as a cheap 70s nylon string should have ball end nylons. I'm not retying those things.
Michael says a Dano 12 is a solid choice.
It's not. Not when they charge like $1,000 for one. Oh, I gotta look. What do they charge for a 12-string Dane Electro in Canada? Dun, dun, dun. Why is this French? Oh, here we are. Why is everything in French? Why is everything in French?
Because it's part of Canada.
No, it's never done that before. Holy shit! It says 1340 to 4390. How is that possible? More questions. Are Dane Electro 12s good? No. All right, let's see what Long and McQuaid says. Let's just filter Dane Electro. $849 for a black one. A black 59. The cheapest $849 Canadian. I don't know what that translates to American, but I'm going to say about 600, $625. Ugh, that's a lot of money for a Dane Electro. I have issues with that. Check the U.S. prices and weep. Nah. I'm good. You should try this bottle in nylon. Oh, grab it. Show folks what we're talking about. Wonder if it's into 2 years later, strings are still stretching, Steve. Oh. It's actually in tune, or close to it. And you'll see, the bottom strings are black instead of clear, and ball ends. Bing, bing, bing.
Nice.
And then all the lines at this end. And this is a Kenora, which is a guy out west decided to start importing cheap acoustics under, and he gave him the name Kenora. Which, ironically enough, my dad's very first electric guitar out of a catalog was a Kenora.
What's that?
Small world.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Which is funny, there's a town in northern Ontario called Kenora, but it's spelled with a K. And this is Kenora with a C.
Right. Is that what your dad's guitar was spelt with also?
Yep. I can't remember what, he either bought it through like a Woolworths or like something like that. It was a catalog guitar, more or less. Out on the coast. And then he used to have to go to the drugstore for guitar strings, he said. That's where you bought your guitar strings, at a drugstore.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm like, what kind? He goes, like, there was literally be one, just say guitar strings. Whatever gauge they were, that's what you're using, Steve.
Like,
I doubt it, Michael Cross.
Paul was one of the first, like, brand names, weren't they? That made, like, custom sets or something like that.
I think Ernie Balls
Yeah.
might be the first, and then Daddario shortly thereafter. Where did I buy my drugs? I can't tell you, Charles. I don't have another stand to put this on. I gotta get up again. Dang it. Well, do we have any last questions, concerns, or comments, folks? If so, get them out. Otherwise, we'll wrap things up. We'll be back tomorrow with Connects with Guitars. Yeah, there's a question for you there, Charles, in the chat. Feel free to answer it. Or not.
Dan Electros run around 600 for a 12 string.
Les, I'm late. Well, Les, we've been going for 2 hours, so yes. Yeah, we're just wrapping things up, actually.
How you doing, Les?
The new ones are wood with a masonite top. That's not a selling feature for a guitar, a masonite top. Great, I can chop my vegetables on it, Steve.
Masonite. Hey, man's got to eat.
Michael Chris says it's been great to know Steve better. Yeah, this is actually part 2. But yeah, also, Steve's pretty much a regular at the Water Buffalo meetings. So if you're not a channel member or a patron, you might want to consider changing that factor.
Yeah, come hang out. They're fun.
Mm-hmm. We had one yesterday. I don't know when the next one is. When is the next one?
The third Wednesday.
Yeah, I know it's the third Wednesday, but I want to see what day of the month that is. Jeez. It's like the first time the guy joins the meeting. I'm like, I got one question. How do you pronounce your name? And he went, Steve. Fuck you. Like, bounce this guy, Charles. It'll be next week, next Wednesday, the 17th. Wednesday of next week. Need hats. Ferd found the hats. I don't have a budget for hats. I barely have a budget for Gretches. Too much. If you want to help pay for the Gretsch, right there. Let's see.
It's all right, Richard. Sometimes
Next
you
week,
take care of things, man.
got demos coming out this week. What are they? Don't know, Steve, because I got to go and shoot them tomorrow. If I feel ambitious, some form of electrics. If I feel really ambitious, Floyd Rose-based electrics, because they got a bunch of them in. Or, and more likely, more acoustics, because fellow don't have to carry an amp into the lesson room and set up pedals and cables. And
You don't even know You don't even have to know where that one plug goes out of the pedal board.
Only ever 2 cables.
It's only
ever 2 cables. That's why some people are roadies and some are techs. Yep. I hear summer in my mind. It's like we're at the first time we're at NASCAR race. People are like, so what do people look like down there? Like, well, they got the summer teeth, summer teeth, and some are chiclets.
over there.
There we go. So Steve's been Steve. I've been Ben.
Thanks,
You've been
Ben.
you. Please, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Hit that like. I'll be back tomorrow playing all your favorite songs and more. What do you mean and more? Oh, and your non-favorite songs, I guess. So as always, hold those doors open. Let Steve in ahead of you in traffic.
Yeah, we could be driving somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe to Sweetwater. Who knows?
Maybe. Be good. Happy tone chasing.
Have a good night, everybody.
Karma is real. And, of course, don't litter.